Hello, everybody. How are you? How is everything in your world? I hope good. Hey, it's another parody video, and this time we're going to talk about the 5-horse junior highs in San Diego. This is part of our San Diego series that will eventually end up in my book, Joe Ditzel Has Some Problems in San Diego. So, if you know of these junior highs, often called middle schools in America. Junior high is how it was termed when I was in Canada. So however you call it in your area, in San Diego, these are the 5 you're going to want to avoid. Now, the first one on our list is banana text. Now, banana text teaches students how to communicate very well. Their teachers are some of the more advanced in the city. But the problem is they're only teaching them how to communicate using fruits and vegetables, meaning they form the fruits and vegetables into words and symbols. And if you know the fruit vegetable language, then hey, it works for you because you're clued in. But I don't know that if you're a parent, you want to have your kids learn a whole new way to communicate just to get into high school, get into college. And even though fruits and vegetables are healthy, I'm going to say that's going to be a no, dog. All right, number 2 on our worst high school, or junior highs, I should say, is presidency harmful school. The presidency harmful school teaches kids that the presidency is one of those positions in the United States that is harmful to the country. And the reason they take this approach is they believe that if a bad president gets into office, and we're not just talking to the president of the United States, we're talking presidents of any kind, that the damage is much greater than if we had a good one in office. But unfortunately, that's not the way the country works. We elect, and we let the person take office who gets the most votes. And just because you don't like who's ever in the president's office with their feet up on the desk and making golf reservations rather than getting work done, well, then that's too bad for you, because that's the way the country's set up. I'm going to say that's a no, dog. Now, number 3 on the list is effective freeze junior high. Now, effective freeze junior high is right over there on the ocean. They get those ocean breezes, but it's an effective freeze. So what that means is, because it's a temperate climate, a lot of people feel like, well, our kids aren't getting the mental toughness they need by being in a cold climate. They know cousins, they know relatives in the Cleveland area, in the Buffalo, New York area, in the upstate New York area, in Montana, okay, in Wisconsin, and they see that these kids from a very young age are tough and rough and can handle cold weather. Whereas in San Diego, some of the parents feel like, hey, my kids are getting soft because all they're feeling is the gentle breezes coming in over the ocean. So effective freeze junior high will counter that by what they have a special building set up that will allow snow to fall inside the building. And they also are able to create 100-mile-per-hour cold winds that you might experience coming off of the lake in Cleveland. If you live on the eastern suburbs or in Buffalo, you'll feel that lake effect snow wind, or Chicago, or Boston in February is a good example. And in fact, when you register your kids, you can tell them what you want. You can tell them the type of cold that you want. So therefore, if you have cousins in Boston who are much tougher than your kids and you want to toughen them up, well, then effective freeze junior high is a choice. But for me, and this is my list, I say it's way too radical, and that's a no, dog for me. Now, number 4 on our list is motorcycle paint junior high. This is an industrial school or a trade school, however you want to term it, and they teach kids how to paint motorcycles. Now, this is an in-demand area because lots of people in a warmer climate like San Diego ride motorcycles. It's easy to get around. California has a lane splitting law which allows motorcycles to ride in between lanes of cars, and they can even go to the front of cars stopped at a stoplight. They can weave their way between the lanes and move right up to the front. Well, that saves lots of time, and also the economies of a motorcycle are so good. You can get however many miles to the gallon on an average motorcycle, and you're off to the races. So they want nice paint jobs. So maybe somebody in San Diego wants a paint job that says, "I'm the second coming of the Phantom," right, on the side of their motorcycle with a Phantom-like graphic, or "My dad was the Punisher," and they have the Punisher on their tank, right? Or "Ride free or don't," okay, right on the tank, showing a rebellious nature, a freedom nature. Okay, we speak to core American values of independence and freedom. Well, somebody has to paint those, guys, and this junior high is there to meet that need. Well, it all sounds good, especially the way I position it. But the thing is, that's a limited trade. There's not now. There's going to be a high demand for motorcycle repair, but that people that will actually spend money to get a custom paint job, or even just a bland paint job like a blue or an off red or a beige kind of color, that's going to be limited. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to give that a no dog. And number 5 on our list of the worst junior highs in San Diego is the Departure Tropical School. Now, Departure Tropical is a travel-based school that teaches kids how to depart a wonderful climate for an even better climate. That's why they call it Departure Tropical. How to get out of San Diego when you can't take it so good. You want it even better. That's how they do it. But guys, here's the thing. First of all, this is the kind of school that costs you as a parent $100,000, $200,000 a year, because you gotta buy the travel passes, the travel tickets for them to go to these, beautiful islands, tropical vacation spots, the Hawaiis, the Ibizas, the South Sea. See what I'm saying? So, plus, here's the thing. Do you really want people to know there's better places to live than San Diego? When you went to all of that trouble to move from Omaha to San Diego, and your kids had a better life immediately. You moved them from the middle of Wisconsin to San Diego, and immediately their life was better. You saved $40,000 to $50,000 a year on mittens and scarves and snow pants and snow boots alone. Already your life was better when you moved to San Diego and you got away from that cold in Beaver Dam or Eau Claire or somewhere in Wisconsin, where they have a deer season that's 3 months long. Because there's so many deer, you go to Ohio, the deer season's a week. In Wisconsin, the deer season is 3 months. Why? Because they have so many deer. They have so many deer in Wisconsin, they're walking the aisles of the grocery stores. You can go to a Chuck E. Cheese in Wisconsin, and half the tables will be filled with deer families having fun with their kids. Deer are not supposed to be in the Chuck E. Cheese. When you get on the bus in Green Bay and you're going to your job at the packing plant, and half the seats are taken up by deer who should be running around out in the woods, but no, they've got lunch pails, they've got heavy winter coats, and they're going to other jobs. What does that tell you? They're taking jobs. The deer got to be in the woods, guys, and that's why they have such a long deer season, is they're trying to trim it down. It totally makes sense. So you took your kids out of that environment, which is completely almost unmanageable. If they didn't have good prices at the Walmarts, you would have been out years ago before. But that Walmart has some pretty good prices right there in your town. So you go to San Diego, And now you're telling me that you're going to send them to a junior high that is completely geared toward exposing them to even better communities. No, no. That's the last thing you need is your seventh grader who's already not talking to you because he's getting to that age, or he's listening to his friends, and there's that one cool mom among their group, and they're always over at her house, and you're really questioning her moral upbringing. Okay, he's at that age, and now you're going to send him to this place whose entire role is to teach them how to book flights to tropical vacations. I'm getting excited, guys, because that's just a big no for me. I'm sorry. You may think differently. Give me a shout on the tweeter. Give me a comment on the YouTuber. Let me know what you think about all this. And hey, help build the entire community so we can all improve. Thanks.